Hey guys, Miss Denham here, and I am going to show you guys today how to use some tools, very basic tools on Pixlr. So if you go to pixlr.com/x, it will bring you to your website here. And this is going to give you some different tools, but you're just going to hit create new for right now. In the future, when you go there, you'll have all of your files at the bottom that you've worked on before, and you'll be able to get back to them easily as long as you're on the same device that you did it on before. It saves it automatically, and this website is free. And does not require any download. It does not require any accounts, so you are good to use it on your Chromebook. So Pixlr is spelled pixlr.com/x. So make sure you put that X at the end, or it'll take you to a different app. Okay, so I'm going to go and leave it at what it selects originally. With this blue underline, that's my selection here. I want to leave it on full HD for right now. In the future, if you want to use different sizes, you can, but for this, we're just going to keep it there. So we are going to be using this app today to create a psychological landscape, which if you remember from the video on Friday with the sub, we were looking at Robin O'Neill, an artist who created these huge drawings using pencil that were very detailed and very strange landscape drawings. So in her landscapes, she was talking about the figure and ground relationship. If you didn't do that lesson, you are going to want to go back and do that. It is for a grade, and it's an important lesson, and it does connect to what we're doing right now. She used value in her work pretty exclusively. She didn't do any color, and it was all just values, very, very contrasted values. So remember, contrast is where we're using very opposite things right next to each other, and they're contrasting each other. They're opposite next to each other. So she used very white backgrounds and very dark values to create her drawings, and that's contrast. So that is relating to your project that we are pausing on right now while I'm out. And so I thought that was a good artist to look at. She's one of my favorite artists. So please go back and do that lesson if you haven't already. But let's go ahead and think about what she was talking about when she said psychological landscape. So for this, I'm going to create my name here for my file. I'm going to make it my name /do psychological landscape demo, so PL. So you can name yours your name and PL demo for psychological landscape. Leave the height and width, don't mess with that. You can go ahead and check this to make a background. When you start, it'll be a white background, that's what's selected, or you can change the color. For this, just leave it white for now. Then hit create. So now I have my background here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a few different tools. So when she was talking about the figure and the ground, she was talking about literally the ground being where your image, your artwork is located, like what's going on in the background. And this doesn't have to be a real space. This can be a field of color, so just a bunch of different colors. That's my ground in an abstract painting with just colors. Or it could be a real space, like a mountain scene. And then the figure is whatever's in your painting that is in the ground. So for that, again, it could be just a shape in an abstract painting, or if it's a figurative painting, it could be the person in the foreground. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and go to Google Images. So google.com. Once I'm here, I can click Images, and I'm going to type in whatever I want to find for my ground. So for mine, I want to do an actual location. Again, yours can be abstract. It doesn't have to be a real place, but just find an image on here, and don't worry about copyright for this because we're just doing a demo. So I'm going to type in, let's see, for mine, I'm going to do mountains. For yours, you can do whatever you want. Don't copy mine. Just find something that you want to do for yours because you're making your own example following along with this. I'm going to find something that interests me. Let's go here to Tools and hit this right here, size large. And this is going to save you some time later on, actually, whenever you get to your artwork. If you don't have that tool turned on, you may pick a photo that is a very small file. And when you stretch it out on your canvas on Pixlr, it will create a blurry image if you don't have that selected. Okay, so let's see, what do I want to use? Let's do something interesting. Let's do... I like this one here. I like that one. Okay, so then once I found my image, I'm going to click on the thumbnail, the little preview, and I'm going to get this larger image here. I can click that with 2 fingers. It's going to bring this drop-down box up and hit Save Images As. Mountains. Photo. Okay, once I have it saved, I can go back to Pixlr and I can hit this button over here on the left that says Add Image. It looks like a little mountain with a little sun in the background. Then I can either browse my computer, go by URL, or stock. So I saved it to my computer, so I'm going to hit browse and find the file. And then I can just type in what I just did, mountain photo, and hit open. So now I have it here, and I do need to kind of adjust it because I want it to take up my full white background. I shouldn't see any white after I do this. So it's okay if it goes off the page a little bit, as long as you're happy with what you see, because what's off the page is not going to be included in your image. So I'm good with that. I like that, Let's hit, let's go back to Google, and let's find our figure now. So this can be as silly as you want it to be. It can be realistic, or it can be totally not realistic. Again, it can be abstract, like just a shape. This is just whatever's going on in the foreground. This is the figure, the subject of your painting or artwork. Let's do, for mine, I want to do something a little bit abstract, something not realistic, because that's what I mean by abstract. So let's do a fish swimming around in the air. I'll find myself a fish that I like. Okay, I like this one. Okay, again, you're going to click on it with 2 fingers, hit Save Image As, and fish swimming. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my photo editor. Again, I'm going to hit Browse on the Add Image and find my fish swimming photo and hit Open. So now I've got this fish. I might want it to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to adjust the size here. And I don't want my black background here. So I'm going to show you guys how to remove a background now. I have over here, let me move this for you. I have right here 2 layers. So whatever layer is outlined in blue is the outline that you have selected, and that's the outline that you're going to be, that's the layer that you're going to be able to work with. So if I have this one selected, I will be able to manipulate that image, and I will not be able to manipulate the background. So this is a good way to separate elements in your digital drawings and artworks, so that you don't affect those while you're working on something else if you need to keep it locked in place and not changed. Okay, so then I'm going to go over here to this cutout tool to remove my background. There's 4 different tools here. I'm going to show you how to use the draw cutout tool for right now, and you can kind of play around with these later, but for right now I'm going to use the draw one. It's going to be kind of easiest for me to do right now. So I like to change it to keep, so whatever I have is going to turn green, and it's going to keep that, and it's going to remove anything that is not in my selection. So I'm going to start and kind of just go through, Control Z, I'm going to change my size a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go through and select what I want to keep, and if it's not perfect, it's okay. We can go back and kind of adjust it later. So I'm just going to get a rough estimate. There we go. Okay, so now I can see I have this kind of hazy image around where I selected. So I can hit remove here, turn my size down just a little bit, and go around and kind of just manually remove that. And you can really zoom in if you want to get really detailed and get out every single little bit. But I'm just going to turn my size down quite a bit and go through and remove those edges. Just like that. And you're going to take your time with this and do a really good job removing your background. But for the sake of time in this video, I'm going to call that good. although you could do quite a bit more here. But I want to go ahead and show you the next thing. Okay, so here is my fish in the foreground. So I have my fish swimming in the air. Maybe I want to move him. So if I want to move him, I can go to Arrange and Style, and I can move him anywhere I want. So you can kind of see where I didn't get all the background there, especially on the white. So be sure to go through and take all that background away. That's going to make it look so much better. So then I'm going to hit Transform, and if I want to change the way he's rotated or anything like that, I can, oh, here it is, flip horizontal. So maybe I want him going this way. That will flip him for me. And if I want to flip him upside down, I could do that. If I wanted to change his size, I could manually do that here, or I could even rotate him by angle. So those are some tools you can use. I'm going to leave him like that. Then there's some other things you can do down here, like adjustment. I can change the color. If he looks like he's not really fitting in the foreground very well, I can kind of change my settings to make him look a little bit like he fits. So he's like kind of bright. So if I bring down his brightness just a little bit, yeah, there we go. He looks a little more like he fits now. And you can just mess around with these settings until you feel like he works for you. I like that the way it is. Okay, and I hit apply. So now I have my fish. So there's a lot of other tools here for you to look through. You can, oh, that's new, glitch. Let's see what that does. I just want to try that out. I've never seen that before. So let's do glitch one. Oh, cool. So it does glitch art for you. That'd actually be really cool in the psychological background. So you can mess around with the settings as you are doing this and see what you can come up with. I'm going to let you kind of explore the rest of your tools here. For right now, I just want you to kind of understand how to do the things I just showed you by cutting out your image and removing the background. That's going to be our first lesson here. And you can add as many things as you want to your foreground. They don't all have to be the same thing. Just figure out what you want to do in yours and keep going with it until you're satisfied. So that is what you're going to do for today's lesson. And I want you to turn in your image by the end of class today to the assignment. So I have my finished product here. This is my finished assignment. I'm just looking for a figure and a ground. And if you have accomplished that and removed all your backgrounds, then you are good to go ahead and hit save at the bottom. Remember, change it to your name and PL demo. You can leave it JPEG, leave it quality. Everything's fine here. And then hit download. And then you will have a copy of your image saved to your computer. Then you can go to the assignment, hit add or create, and then find your file name in your Chromebook files and hit upload. Okay, that's all I have for you today, guys. I hope you enjoy messing around with Pixlr, and remember, it is pixlr.com/x. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.